episode 12. What's going on? It's me.
What's up, Tay? Happy holidays. How are you doing?
Happy holidays. It's been so busy. I always hate when this comes to an end because then it's like, okay, now real life is like coming back.
I know. So we were off last week, and I tried not to make us be off, but yeah, you know, we talked about it. Went to North Carolina. We stayed at this awesome, beautiful cabin in the woods and just did woodsy, mountainy stuff. We went snow tubing. We had the best time ever. And it's just, there wasn't a good spot. I wanted to do it outside. Like you and I talked about this. I wanted to record outside, but there was like 33 degrees outside, and I'm a Florida boy. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit down outside for 40 minutes. Like I'll freeze my ass off.
It's crazy like how close you were to me. And like, there were so many times I was just thinking like, if I have a free day, I might just go up to Boone. And then it just like didn't happen. But I was like, I want to just go up there so bad.
It would have been awesome.
It's not that far from me.
I know. The girls would love to see you. Susie would love to give you a hug like always. It would have been awesome. But
I know. When I first moved here, I went snow tubing like in the mountains. I think near Boone, like Maggie Valley and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
So it is, yeah, especially as a kid. Like I went as a kid, so I can only imagine your kids were probably like loving that shit.
It's so funny you say that. So Colin, my oldest, 9, he thought it was the best thing ever. Like he thought it was so much fun, and he had his own tube, and it was like kind of the first time of him being an adult kid, teenager boy doing it, and he loved it. So Dylan, who's like 4, he's kind of like, some things he's the most adventurous kind of kid we have, and he does these wild, funny things, but then sometimes he can be a younger brother and a whiner, sometimes of that nature. So I wasn't sure how he was going to be. And this is something totally new and snow and all this. He loved it. Like he sat on Susie's lap a couple times. He sat on my lap on the tube. He thought it was the funnest thing. It was literally going towards the end of the time. We had like one last run, they call it. He sits in my lap, and I was like, we're going to go super fast. And I kind of pushed off the side a little bit faster. And we're like spinning, going double fast off the sides. And he just thought he was like screaming like a kid. It was so great. It was awesome. So much fun.
What did the girls think about it?
We didn't take the girls. They stayed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They couldn't do anything there. And it would have just been a lot too.
It would have been so much. You guys would have been like, we're ready to go. We're not snow tubing anymore. Everybody,
It was probably why I loved it so much. It was just, sometimes I sat there and just looked around. I didn't have anyone hitting my knee or wanting to hold them. So it was great. It was so much fun. The trip was awesome. 5 days. A lot of the times I literally kind of put my phone on like silent, put it downstairs, and just went upstairs. It was awesome. Just to kind of.
Until I was like calling you like, Dave.
I talked to like 2 or 3 people the whole time, other than like my, family there. I talked to 2 or 3 people. You were one of them. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, but it was like, so my fail for like Christmas is I got the boys, like, first of all, they got everything that they possibly could have asked for, and they didn't ask for much. But I'm like, all right, Carson loves video games. So Carson's 5, loves gaming, loves the Switch, all of that. So I'm like, I'm going to get him a VR headset from Santa. Santa's bringing him a VR headset.
Of course, Santa.
Bring it. I get this expensive VR headset. My child wants nothing to do with it. He will not put it on. He's like scared of it. I don't know why. He's like, no, like he will not put it on. So now it's kind of become like my Christmas present. So I've been like playing it, but he won't put it on. He won't put the like hand things on. He's just like, no.
Oh my! What game there's a boxing game, right, in it?
Yeah, there's like boxing. There's like the some kind of game called Beat Saber where you like dance and play music, which I thought he would like think was really cool. And he like absolutely will not put it on his head. He's like, I don't care what's going on in the virtual reality realm. I'll stick to the Switch and Nintendo and all that stuff. So it was just really funny because I was like, yes, I totally won Christmas with this present. And I think he'll warm up to it, but right now he's just like, I want no part of that.
That is so funny. It's wild. Same thing. Yeah, there was a lot. I think I sent you one picture. I posted one picture of all the presents, and there's 4 of them. So they're like, I know it looks like a lot, and I didn't want to post it because it looked like a lot, and I didn't want other families to be like, wow, that looks like a lot. But it was just so much and so many presents, and sometimes $80 items, or there was a Santa brought this beautiful brand new bike. It was awesome. It's a really cool, legit good bike. Dylan got one Captain Falcon figure. Maybe it was $12.99 at Target. I don't know. Santa got it. So maybe it was $12.99. That's all that mattered. Like, that was it. Christmas was over. He was so happy and has not, like, he sleeps with it for 2 straight days. He is all in on this Captain Falcon figure. Like, I'm like, wait, we could have just got one thing for $12.99. That would have been it.
Yeah. And then it's funny because my kids told everybody the same things that they wanted.
Yeah.
So of course they asked for one present from everybody. So everybody got multiple. So they were going, like, making their rounds to the houses. And Brody, I think he ended up with like 4 Scorpius Rexes. So it's like a dinosaur Jurassic Park toy. And by the end of the day, he's like, I got 4 of them. And I was just like,
the best. Oh my.
But it was fun. It was cool.
So it was a great day, great week. We're in the middle here. It's New Year's Eve in a couple days. It's awesome. It's kind of funny too, because my twin girls are born on New Year's Eve. So it's like, so much is to get to Christmas and Christmas Eve and parties. And we went on a 5-day vacation for a Christmas vacation. It was so much. And now, like, Christmas is here and gone. Now it's like, whoa, we have to kind of get our second 2-year-old girls, Taylor and Emmy, their birthday's ready. So we got so much, but let's kind of get into the show a little bit before we get into, there's drama in the 125-pound division, you on the Bare Knuckle FC show with, I kind of want to get into that a little bit more with Sangala. Of course, we ask it a little Q&A, and our fans just like, boom, boom, boom. We have the best community fans in the world. We love you guys. We love you guys so much.
Yes.
We do want to talk about this. So follow the Bee, Banana the Bee on Instagram. You had a great post on Instagram about the caption. Our good friend, what's that handle again? Raggy?
It's like at D'Lo Sanchez. I actually met him.
No, that's the winner. Who took the picture?
Oh, at Raggy47 on Instagram.
Right. Okay. So
I
then
was talking about the winner, but no, he hung out with us in Florida and just shot some stuff. He's a huge fan.
Yeah, good dude.
So cool. His vibe's so awesome, and I'm so thankful for him. So
the winner, spoiler alert, drum roll. It's like if you haven't watched Spider-Man, I haven't watched it, so no spoilers, please. But the winner is D'Lo Loe Sanchez. Good caption. I liked it. As soon as I saw it, I go, dude, Tay might go that way. There were some funny ones. There was really good ones. But there were some
that I'm just like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about or how this even ties into anything. But you had me at Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. It was. What did you say about the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
He could have just commented Red Hot Chili Peppers, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I would have been like, oh my god, he wins. Yeah. So D'Lo Sanchez, I think DM Taylor, DM the Banana and the Bee podcast. If you watch this, we'll even DM you as well. We'll give you a shout out here, or maybe on the next show. We'll give you a shout out on your personal, whatever you want. We'll shout you out. Okay, so we'll give you a winner. Congratulations. That's all. We got to do that again. I think we should do that like a bi-weekly thing, like some kind of fun things that our community is awesome. I would just like love to do maybe like a giveaway where we like ask questions about us personally, like what's Taylor's favorite band, or like how many kids does Dave have, or like something like that, and someone who can like absolutely nail every single one of them like win something. I like that. And do we bring them on the show like a live thing, almost like what we're doing now, and like, hey, you're gonna come in and bring you on and like ask them 5 questions? We should do that, kind of like a radio show, like have them come on, like have like maybe only a certain amount of people, someone who thinks that they know, and just have them all battle it out would be hilarious. I love that idea. Also, another thing you don't know that's going to happen, I am going to swarm you tonight, Christmas special edition. Okay. We had like a 20-minute pre-op before the show. We had a meeting of minds. I didn't even say this to Taylor. I'm putting her on the spot. We have so much more fun stuff. But towards the end of the show, we have this really cool swarm segment, and I am going to swarm Taylor. Okay. All right. There you go. All right. So let's get into it. Bare Knuckle FC show. Maybe it was like a week ago, half week ago. It was a lot about the end of the year awards and knockout of the year and fighter of the year. Fight of the year. Of course, Knucklemania won. Taylor Starlin versus Charisa Sigala. One of the greatest fights I've ever seen live. One of the greatest female fights ever. One of the greatest fights, period.com ever. I love that fight. It was definitely the fight that
the moment that really pushed Taylor Starlin into the spotlight. So I love that fight. It means so much to me.
And it was so important to me. Like, that was the first fight I met you. Like, I remember being in the hotel room and you were texting me like, I'm 30 minutes away. I'm 5 minutes away. Is it this place? And you're like, I'm downstairs. And I remember I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to meet Dave Van Auken. And like, we've been talking for years. And like, I'm just now meeting him. And it's like, it's crazy. It's so crazy.
And like, what do they call it when like catfish? Like, I felt like you and I were going to be catfished by each other. Like, are we really people? Are we going to be? It was awesome. It was cool. It was a special week or weekend, and so much was going on. And I remember Harley Davidson. There was the whole press conference kind of a thing. I was there for like 36, 48 hours. It was awesome. And then of course that event. And then, the event was big and there were so many other fights on it. But of course, even to this day, and we're so much better friends now than we were back then. But that your fight meant everything to me. Like, I was there for Taylor Starlin and her fight. And for you just to absolutely steal the show. And then remember the press conference afterwards, this press conference, like, out of the blue.
You kill me. You were like, oh my God. I'm like all beat to shit. We're at the press conference and we're like, the media is asking questions, and we kind of look at you and we're like, aren't you media? Aren't you gonna ask a question? And you just like are standing right next to me like, when's Taylor Starling gonna fight Britain Hart? And I just like looked at you like, really?
No, like, it was kind of like that, but it was a lot better. Come on, I'm a lot better than that.
It was a better delivery, but in my head, I was just like.
And it was just about like, everyone was talking because Britain just did defeat Paige. So Britain was getting a ton of love up there. And it was just like, and I felt people were not forgetting about you, but like, it was just, and you weren't getting enough love and they weren't even like sit you up there yet. It was kind of weird. It was I don't know. They literally put it together like that. And I was like, guys, I know, hey, nothing towards Britain and nothing towards whoever won these fights. Chris Lieben won that night as well. But I'm like, Taylor Starlin was the star of the night. Like, she was the show stealer.
You had the Kanye West. The Kanye West Taylor Swift moment when he goes up there and he's like, yeah.
Love it.
No disrespect to Britain, but Taylor Starling had the best fight of all time.
It was. So that was crazy. So on the show, they talked to you. How much time did they know? Did they inform you that you were going to be on the show? And did you know that you and Sangala are going to be on together the whole time?
Yeah. Let me like give you a whole backstory first. That has nothing to even do with what you just asked me. But I had 24 hours. Like, they messaged me the day before and they were like, hey, can you hop on the podcast for the fight of the year? I'm like, absolutely. And they tell me, but they didn't tell me like that Charisa was going to be on it with me. And so I had been following Teresa for a little while on Instagram, and she had a fight in Wichita, I think, against Jessica Link. And I just was like, you know what, maybe it would just be nice if I shot her a message and said like, good luck. Like, cause I do think about her, which sounds like stupid, but I'm like, I'm always like, man, like as a woman, I want other women to do good and blah, blah, blah. And then she messaged me when I was fighting Hannah Guy and was like, good luck tonight. Like, very simple, to the point. I'm like, oh, that was really nice of her. And I think that's when I followed her. I was like, oh, I'm going to follow her on Instagram. Follow her on Instagram. And then some time passed and I was seeing her post and I was like, just kind of like, I don't think she followed me back. And I like looked and it kind of like bothered me. And I was like, okay, she didn't follow me back, so I'll just unfollow her. And then I unfollowed her. But like right before that, I had seen a post and it was like, yeah, we got fight of the year. And if we ever had to run this one back, it wouldn't go to a judge's decision. And I just looked at that shit and I was like, okay. So then I had seen that and I just like let it go because I'm like, whatever, she's gonna say what she's gonna say is cool. It's the game. And they call me and then I see on there like Charisa Sigala is gonna be on there. I'm like, great. She's either gonna be before me or after me. And then I see like as we're sitting in the waiting room, like she's sitting there. I'm like, okay, so she's gonna be in this podcast with me. My dog's like knocking my camera all over the place. But I'm like, oh, she's gonna be in this podcast with me. All right. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm going to say something about that because you're right. It wouldn't go to a judge's decision because I would knock you out because I'm way better than that fight. And I've done nothing but constantly improve. So I was like, I'm not going to like let that one go. And so they brought us on and I remember like we were on there. Everything's great. We're all happy, joy. And I'm like waiting. I'm like, man, I hope they just give me the opportunity to say what I have to say. And sure enough, they say, have you guys been in contact since you fought? And I was like, boom, there it is. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I just, if anyone didn't watch, I kind of threw a little bit of shade at Teresa on the Bare Knuckle podcast. It is all love. Like, I respect Teresa. That is something that set both of our careers up and so great. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to like have some slick shit said and me not just like have an answer to it.
I feel like you're almost being too negative on yourself. I don't think it was crazy shades. I think you were, I posted that video, reposted it. I just think you were being real. Like, she, if I could say, she just seems really confident about the fight and about going forward. And you're, and not, I'm not trying to be, dude, I'm a fan of Charisa Sigala, nothing but the best luck to her. But she's 1-2 in Bare Knuckle FC. And the win was a split decision, razor sharp decision. Hey, maybe she won, maybe she didn't. You're 3-0 past it, and you're like, your stock is a rocket to the moon right now. And it's like, she just seemed uber confident. You're like, hey, if this happens again, this isn't like, we're two different levels now. Like, we're different levels. Like, we went into that thing first, both you girls, first fight ever in Bare Knuckle. It was kind of like this even playing field. Nah, like, there's an A side and a B side. That's just the honest truth. That's like, what's real.
I'm just like, I change every fight. No fight's ever the same for me. I get better every fight. I get better and better. And like, I mean, I'm not really impressed with what I've seen. So, and it's like, I'm not trying to, people were like going in so hard on me about like, oh, why would you like look back to the past at Teresa? And it's like, no, they were like, oh, maybe she doesn't want to fight for the title. And that's like not the case, but I'm not going to let something like that be said and me not have an answer for her. I'll fight her. I'll fight for the title. I'll fight for the tournament. I will fight whoever. And that's just a simple answer. It doesn't matter what's going on. If they call me and say, hey, February 18th, you're fighting Charisa Sigala for blah, 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 2. All right, book me. Like, I'm going to get paid. So of course I'm going to do that. I'm sitting around and waiting for this title and there's not even anything like being discussed. So it's like, I'm just going to fight, like whatever they tell me to do. I want to fight for the belt. Of course, that's exactly what my focus is on, but I ain't putting nothing else. Like if it's there, like, come on.
I'm so happy you said that. I'm like, because I saw that too, and I saw even the post that we did. A couple of people were like, "Hey, why is even Taylor talking about this?" So let me throw this out there. Like, first and foremost, and this will really transition us to definitely one thing we're going to talk about is this. This is Christine Friera and Britain. So we're going to talk about that in a second for sure. But one thing that you brought up that I definitely want to bring up. So, yeah, if they say right now, Taylor, you're going to fight for the title, it's going to be Christine. You're like, I accept.
Yeah.
Hey, and then also, okay, that's not the fight. Then they posted 8 pictures of 8 125-pound females with what are we going to do? And there's, of course, been this dirty rumor of 5 months about a tournament. So if they post 8 pictures of a tournament, it makes sense that might be a tournament going forward. Maybe it starts at Knucklemania. Let's just throw that out there. 2, if they say, hey, we want you to fight that's maybe your arch nemesis, Lenny Lavage, you say, I accept. If I was bare knuckle a little bit and they just say they go the tournament route and they think Christine and Britain has all this heat, they start as a first round matchup. They have 2 other girls start a first round matchup. They even showed Paige and Rachel in there. Maybe they do something like that again or against another person. It would kind of make sense. Like, you would be a 2 or a 3 seed. You would fight someone towards the bottom of the 8. And that bottom of the 8, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, is Sangala. And it's like a perfect little thing. Like, you guys fought at Knucklemania 1. You guys would fight at Knucklemania 2. Like, that shit sells itself.
Yeah.
Like, the rematch, a 2 underneath you guys. I'm like, to me, it made perfect sense. Like, if they go the tournament route, I can see you versus Sangala all day. Like, that fucking makes sense.
Yeah. And it's like, I think so many people, like, the problem with this is, and it's going to probably get twisted, but the problem to me with the 125 division with the females and the drama is like, of course, I am the fighter. I believe in myself. I believe that I'm the best out of all of them. Because if I didn't, then what the fuck am I doing? Right. And I think, of course, everybody thinks that way. So it's like, if they say that, then like someone else takes it personally, someone else gets upset, someone gets like, that's just how it is. You believe that you're the best, because what else would I be doing it for? I'm not here to fight to be like, oh, well, I think that Rachel Ostovich is the best, but I'm like number 3. Like, it doesn't work that way. Rachel Ostovich believes she's the best in the world. I believe I'm number 1. Britton thinks she's number 1. Christine thinks she's number 1. And it's like, regardless of rankings, you still see yourself as number 1. And like, these girls get so like, not all of them, but certain ones can take something and just get so personal and like attacked by it. And I'm like, these girls all sit and talk about me all the time and how like stupid I am or whatever, and I'm not shit and I suck and I'm just easy work for them. But it doesn't bother me, because I'm like, of course they're gonna say that. They're fighters, and like, that's how it is. So like, all the drama and the stuff like that, like even with Teresa, like I said that, but it doesn't mean I don't like Teresa or I don't respect her as a fighter or anything like that. It was just like, I'm just going to call it how it is. It doesn't mean I don't like her. I don't have any personal like ill feeling towards Teresa. It's just, it is what it is. It was said, so I'm going to say something back, and like, that's that.
Right.
But I don't take it like, I'm not like, oh man, fuck Teresa, this stupid, like, I'm just not like that. But some of them like really get so fucking wound up and so into it, and I'm like, whatever.
I think the kids say they get into the motions. Like, they get into those motions so damn quick, and it's like, it's a fight game. There's stuff other than the fight. And like Christine Fierra's kind of mode right now, in a weird way, I'm kind of into. She's just kind of saying, I respect it. She's saying, I'm the best. I'm the badass. I'm the fucking champ. I'm number 1. Everyone else can take it. I'm like, okay, like, I'm fine with that. Like, if that's what she thinks and feels, and you can kind of tell a little, like, you can tell when it's a shtick, like when it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
Or when you can tell that's what she really thinks and believes, and that's what she thinks and believes, I'm all for it. Some of the other girls in that 8, and Bare Knuckle posted it 6 days ago, 8 pictures. Like, come on, guys, go to Bare Knuckle FC. You can just slide through all these 8 pictures. And it's like, some of them are, they come off so fake, and it's like, so, they're just saying stuff to say stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's too much. Like, this just, at the end of the day, in a weird way, if it just, you guys are all going to kind of fight each other, because not trying to, like, there's 8 of you on the top, and maybe 1 or 2 won't be there in 6 months because of just negotiations or contracts and stuff of that nature. But, if I had to guess, I would put $20 that one day within the next year, Taylor Starlin's going to fight Britton Hart and Christine Fierra. Like, it's going to happen. Like, it might happen.
And that just is what it is. And like, yeah, I'll say this about Christine. I could see people taking what Christine says personally, but like, I've been around Christine a couple times, and Christine really is like cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, she is like, so like, you can respect Christine. You can like, she's down as fuck. But Christine as a fighter is Christine as a fighter. Like, if you're going to sit here and be like, Taylor and Christine are fighting, of course Christine's going to be like, yes, I'm going to make that easy work. Fuck that. Like, it's just a part of the game. That's the game. And like, I have a lot of respect for her on that. But some people like just can't take like that part of the game seriously. And it's like, I'm super respectful. I just don't do, like, I'm just very like, I don't like anything like that. So I'm just very like to myself, and like, I just would rather like make a joke and like laugh and be like whatever. And that's just who I am. And like, that's it. I mean, I can talk my shit when I want to, but I'm one of those people, like, if shit's like serious is when I'm going to be like crazy that. But Christine just is who Christine is. And like, you gotta take it for what it is. And she's like, I respect Christine so much. And I've like met her and told her like, hey, look, say what you say. Like, I understand that that's what you're doing. Like, that's you. That's just how she is. And she's always been like that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So, like, kind of long story short, we went a couple different ways there. One, I can see Starlin versus Sangala in the future. I can even see it at Knucklemania too. A lot of that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I think it does if they go this tournament style. If they don't do the tournament style, if they just make a fight or 2 for the championship and maybe one right underneath for the number 1 contendership, it doesn't make sense because you're 3-0 and Sagala's 1-2. So for that to be a number 1 contendership, it doesn't make sense. I would assume, like, I'm just throwing it out there, you would probably fight a bigger name, like an Ostovich who's 1-0. Even Wong, who's not maybe a bigger name, but she's 1-0 and Bare Knuckle. So like, I feel like they would make or they might say, hey, something happens with Britain or with Christine, or maybe it's really weird because it stinks that just because they have drama against each other, it's like kind of it's
making it to where they're trying. Yeah, it's gonna make the storyline like, oh, Christine and Britain are fighting for the belt,
right? And it's like everyone like, and so okay, I'll say this so you don't have to, or if maybe you don't even feel this way. I'm gonna say this. I'll take the heat. Everyone was like Britain's fighter of the year. I'm like, no, and Britain had a great year. She was 3-0. It was Paige, it was Lenny Lavage, and it was Pearl. A lot of people thought the Pearl fight was really close. I'm just going to keep it like that. You were 3-0 as well. Like everyone's like, oh, Britain was fighter of the year. It's like Taylor was 3-0. One of Taylor's fights was a fight of the year. Like everyone was hands down. Oh yeah, it was the fight of the year. And then another of your fight was a 26-second 88 punch barrage, like TKO.
Fastest
like,
in women's.
Fastest in female bare knuckle history. And I'm not trying to say that. And like, I know she was the main event of Knuckle Mania, and I give her a lot of credit for the Paige win. Is that her best win, or is the Pearl the best win? But not a lot of people feel like Pearl maybe won. Then she fought Lenny Lavage and went to third round, fourth round, somewhere in there. And like Jenny got some shots off. It was just like, and like you fought Sangala, Robbie, and then Hannah Guy, who, like I said, 2 years from now, they're going to be like, holy crap, Taylor Starlin beat Hannah Guy. Like that win is going to look so good. And everyone's like just giving Britain the nod because she went 3-0. I'm like, does everyone forgot Taylor Starlin went 3-0? And I think, I'll say Taylor Starlin had a more impressive year than Britain Hart. That's just me. That's my 2 cents. So
yeah.
I don't know.
So when they said it, I wasn't mad or anything at all. I definitely think that it was like, I was like, oh yeah, Britain Hart fought Paige Van Zandt and Pearl and Ginny, and like, so I was completely understanding of that, and I think it was deserved. So I don't want anyone to sit and be coming for me thinking that I was like, I can't believe I didn't get fighter of the year. Like, no, it was very much deserved. Yeah, but I could see it going either way.
Yeah. And like I said,
I got fight of the year, and it was cool. Like that was so awesome over like Thiago Alves and Julia Lane and like stuff like that. And it was in February, so I remember when they were like, "This is gonna be fight of the year," and I was like, "This happened in February. There's like a whole year we have to get through before like it even is like said." So when they announced, I was watching it live, and I was just like.
Okay, so it was funny. So someone hit me in my DMs, and like we asked the questions, and it kind of, I don't know, the person that hit me up in my DM, my personal IG, I don't know if they follow the Banana and Bee on Instagram. So like they didn't ask this question to you, so I was going to do it. Do you have to go, or you're good?
No, I'm just chilling.
Okay. They asked, do you think? And then I answered the question, and then I was like, oh, I'll ask Taylor on the show. That'd be cool. Okay. They go, do you think Taylor Starlin would rather have fight of the year or be fighter of the year? If you had to pick either or, what would you rather have?
Fight of the year. Like, I mean, the fighter of the year thing is like really, really cool.
I said
but
the same
for
thing.
Me, like the fights that went down this year, like I just said, like Thiago Alves and like Julian Lane and like the names and of the people that like Britain Hart fought Paige Van Zandt, like of all the names and the fights that happened and stuff, like to get that and like for people to not forget about it and like the way like that fight solidified my career and changed my whole entire life overnight. And just like the viralness of it, like if you go look on YouTube, that fight's got like over 2 million views. It's like insane. And like just that moment and like everything that came with it and just the whole 9 of that, like having it as fight of the year and everyone still buzzing about it, like the way that they were when it was announced, like was the cherry on top. I mean, being fighter of the year too would be really, really great, but just fight of the year, it was like something that like people went crazy over. And I mean, fight of the year would have been cool too. But I mean, I can always get that later on.
There you go. 2022. Yeah. Like, so I DM'd him back. I said, I will ask Taylor, but my 2 cents and kind of knowing Taylor as good as I do, I go, she's going to pick fight of the year. And what you said, exactly what I thought in a weird way. You can debate fighter of the year, and let's just be honest. Who was the fighter of the year before? I honestly don't know. Like, I'm not trying to, like, I really don't. UFC, Bare Knuckle, I really don't. No one, and I'm not trying to overstate this. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here. no one will ever forget your fucking fight. Like ever.
Yeah.
Like that fight goes down in history. People still talk about like that one Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonner Ultimate Fighter from like 20 years ago. Like anytime we get into a conversation with like bros at a bar, they talk about fighting, that fight comes up. And like your fight will go down like forever. Like legacy history
Bare
stuff.
Knuckle.
I think
it
it
was
was
crazy. That's what they said. They were like, man, the response we got from it, like Tyson Fury watched it and John Jones, and like they were like, it's just crazy, like the reaction that fight brought, like from people, and it was crazy.
All right, probably our favorite thing. I don't know. We talked before air. I just love our fans, our community, all the people that like just are so supportive of the podcast. We're only 12 episodes in. It's such a baby thing to think of it. But it's cool. Like, we're already talking. We're moving, or like next year's got some huge stuff coming. I'm really pushing toward like, I don't want our show to be like a NASCAR show. Like I don't want it to be sponsored everywhere and the 40 thing. I want one or maybe two.
Just like one good one.
Yeah, one great one. Great one.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're buzzing. We're working on stuff. We're buzzing. So we always ask questions from the fans, and of course we get more than I thought. So I'm like, let's just run through it and see what we get. And then I want to do a swarm with you, and then we'll roll. All right.
All right.
I think let's do names. Let's finally do names a little bit. Michelle _IVEE. She writes, what were you thinking, Taylor, right before you walked out?
I was very annoyed with Mike Perry in the back. I really want to know. Mike Perry was having a brawl out in this crowd before. And honestly, I was so irritated with them at that point. I was just like, I'm ready to walk out so I can get away from them. And like, but when I walked out, I remember like the catwalk was super short this time. So I didn't get to do like some whole grand like dance. That was really it. This time I was surprisingly a lot more calm. I was more nervous during the day. So more so I was just like, I'm ready to go in here and do this. Like this moment's been coming. I'm ready to go. What were you thinking before I walked out? Cause you were there.
I was there. It was so funny. Cause like a lot of these, some people, I love our people. They're like, hey Dave, you can answer some of these too. Like some of these are for both. So I have it. So I felt I was maybe 2 or 3 people knew that you had Nelly Pimp Juice on as the song. And I love that song. It's one of my favorite CDs ever. I saw Nelly live in Orlando, Florida. He's just one of my guys. Like it's just the age. I'm a Nelly guy. So I just wanted, before you were going off, one, it was, trying to say this the right way. Like I was not concerned, but there's a feeling of like, I want you to perform well. I don't want you to get hurt. There's like a protective like bubble. Like I want you to do good. I got so much love for you. Like I'm protective. But then like right before you were coming out, I had the recorder and it's like, I got some good angles from all you guys from behind the curtain in a way. I was like, I want to see how the people were going to respond to Pimp Juice. Cause it's such a dope song. Like that is such a good walkout song. So I wanted to see how that was going to go. Like that was the last thing I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know why we get this question every time. Like, I don't even know why I'm going to say this out loud. Flawed Amain, FOODAMAN, and don't ask this question ever again. Is Taylor going to fight Beck Rollins?
We don't even know if Beck Rollins is coming to Bare Knuckle, so
ask
that question first.
I don't know. All right.
We don't know if she's coming back. I think it's her visa, COVID. Who knows? There's like the Optimus Prime Omicron variant. There's the Delta 8
version. Millennium Mall. It's getting worse. Crazy. Okay. EF. Man, some of these handles, guys. Come on. EFRA Rain MMA. EF Rain MMA. How do you balance being a mom, fighter, and entertainer so well?
I gotta laugh through the struggle. Let me just tell you, I gotta laugh through the struggle because I always say this, and I feel like I've already answered this question too. But like everything looks so glorified on Instagram. It looks like my life is like cupcakes and rainbows, and I'm just like, oh my god, my kids and training and everything's so easy. It's really not. Like, I'm telling you, I probably cried for like an hour straight today and just was like, I'm tired of being Taylor. And like, me and their dad aren't together. So like, we usually are really good about co-parenting, but every now and then, like we just have it out with each other, and it makes it really hard and just stressful. And I've got all kinds of things wrong with me and like just everything. Like it's hard. It's so much harder than it looks, but I'm always like, man, if I can I just juggle everything. I structure things a certain way. I juggle everything. I roll with the punches literally and figuratively. So like whatever comes my way, I'm just like, okay, like there's a hang up in my whatever in the day. I got to switch everything around that. And I just make it work. Like it's really hard. I cry all the time. And then I just get on Instagram and like make fun of myself and then I feel better and then I do stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely really, really tough. But I always say where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. And that's just true. Like you can do anything you want as long as you put your mind to it and make it fucking happen.
Yeah. It's funny. So people ask the legitimate friends and people like in the industry, whatever, they ask me that too. They ask me like, dude, how do you do it? You like the career and then the podcast and the family, got 4 kids. How do you do it? And I answer the same answer every time. I go coffee and alcohol.
Yeah.
So, that's mine right there. There you go.
Coffee in the morning, alcohol at night. And you just.
There you go. Ryan Lennon 2. I think this is an inside joke. I think Ryan Lennon 2. Did someone buy the stinky ass boxing shoes?
Actually, guess who bought my shoes? The guys that came from Vermont to the fight.
No way. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, they were so awesome. So I was happy because it wasn't like weird. And I was like, I told them.
Wait, they bought them on spot?
Like they messaged me. No. They messaged me and were like, listen, I'll pay you X amount. Like, please, we want these shoes. Send them as soon as possible. It was like kind of one of the things I first did when I got home. Because like those shoes were rotted. They stunk. I was like, there's got to be some weird foot fetish person that wants these. But they are just like true Killer Bee fans. They didn't even like, they weren't thinking of like the weird foot fetish thing. They weren't thinking, but they were just like, man, Taylor has fought in these shoes. He messaged me and was like, I want to make a shadow box and please just sign them. And yeah, he actually, I don't know if you remember in Florida, he gave me like a stack of posters to sign.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of pictures. So I like sat and signed all of them. It was so cool because he had posted pictures yesterday of like, I guess people in his family that are like huge fans of mine and opening their Christmas present. And on top of it's like an autographed picture of me. And it was like so sweet. It like made it melted my heart. So it was cool. No, he's really cool. Randy, I can't say their last name. I think it's like Feline.
Yeah. He actually just hit me up. Without saying, does it have 2 zeros on it?
Yeah, 2 zeros.
Damn.
Better than 1 0.
Lot better than one. Close to our hearts, Edward Martinez Photography goes, this is a good one for both of us. Favorite Christmas moment this year?
Mine. You go first.
Okay, I got it too. It just happened yesterday. So it was 2 days after Christmas, but still we had still Christmas tree, presents are still out. Very Christmassy, I think. With all the kids are going on, sometimes there's so much interaction, so much stuff has happened. And so it's really weird that like an older boy and one of the younger girls are together because it's always the twins, the girls are together, and it's usually the older boys are together. So Dylan and Taylor, 4-year-old, 2-year-old are together and they're playing. And I'm kind of at the couch and they're kind of like 10 feet away from me and they're playing. And I overhear, like in baby voice tone, Dylan goes like, oh, Taylor, you have something in your hair. Like you have some like chips or some food in your hair. Let me get that for you. Like buddy or princess or like a cute term. He's like helping her clean her hair and doing all this for her, like being the nicest boy ever. And then like he does it. And then like probably 5-10 seconds later, he goes like, well, I just got this new toy from Santa. So come with me. We'll play with my new Batman. You'll have fun. And it was just like, and like Tay goes like, yeah, thank you. And like they just had this like moment and no one else around. It was just me on the couch listening to them. They didn't know I was listening to them. It was the sweetest freaking thing.
That is the best.
Yeah.
Mine fight all the time. So when they're nice to each other, I'm just like, oh.
I know. Same. That's like, and like they never, the one boy and one girl, they never hang. So like when they did, it was just so sweet. It was awesome.
That is so sweet.
What's yours?
Mine would have to be like when I was a kid, my dad and I always did, like, we would put carrots out for the reindeer.
Yeah.
So this year was the first year. Like, we've always done cookies and stuff, but they've been so little to, like, not really comprehend everything. So this year they really, like, everything was magical, like moving the elf around and but putting out the reindeer food was my favorite because, like, the boys, I bought them like a giant bag of carrots. They had made like reindeer food at school with like oatmeal and like glitter and stuff in it, and like we go outside and they're like throwing the reindeer food and they're like calling, they're like, come on, reindeer, like whistling to the reindeer, and they're like, come on down and get your carrots. And like it was just so cute because they were both doing it and like throwing their food around, laying the carrots out. They were like, we have to have 12 carrots out. They laid them all like strategically, and they were just like, the reindeer are gonna love this and they're gonna eat these carrots. And we left the reindeer food and they were just like yelling at the sky like for the reindeer to come down and eat their food, and it was like just so magical. And I was just sitting there like upset. I was obsessed with it because that was cool. And then when they seen that, of course, when they saw their presents like first thing in the morning, was like the best because they were just like gagged and taken back.
I was gonna say that too. It was the girls got up first. They always get up first. And then the 9-year-old got up first. And it was so good. Like he wanted to, we have a back room, if you want to say like a Florida room. And it's with 2 doors that you can shut, barn doors in a way. So he came out and it's glass. So like he saw through it and saw like, it was awesome. And like, I hate being like, there's just presents from like wall to wall, so many presents.
Yeah.
And he comes out and like, he looks and he's like, oh, he was like so excited. And I was like, well, you can't go in there until Dylan gets up. So wake up your brother. And he's like, and I hear him like, and like they have bunk beds. So he's like running up the bunk beds, like, get up, Christmas. It was awesome. It was so cool.
It's just the kids just make it so much better.
So much. I don't even think I should ask this question, but I will just because this is who we are. And if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to, because I think this is to you. _AALFIE. How much have you made? No offense intended.
Like fighting?
Yeah. Is that a skip?
I'm not gonna like put it on blast, but I'm gonna say definitely not as much as you think or that I think I deserve. So it's definitely very it's one of those things that if I said the number that a lot of people would be like, and not in like a good way, not in like the, oh my God, you're rich. And that's the one thing I hate is so many people like come to me and treat me as if I have money, and I really don't. And it's like they'll treat me like I just like I'm this mega superstar celebrity, and like I'm just like rolling around in the Benjamins, and I'm like, bro, like it's really not like that. But I'm honored that you think so, but no, it's not like that.
To like piggyback on that, it's like so funny you say that. It's especially in the fight game, because there's so much. You can have a great following on social media. You can have a ton of fans and people that actually love you and adore you and all this stuff. And you can be in really cool scenarios and do great stuff with big people. But like in the fight game, until you're like at the very, very top, like it's so hard to like legitimately make big money. Like it's almost like you work. It's like this passion project in a way. And then like you put in enough, it's like, oh, wow. And then like you almost in a weird way, you get overpaid. It's like wait a second, like Mike Perry in that last boxing match, he made like $400K. It's like, what, he made that? But like that's just, Mike worked a long time to get to that point, you know?
Yeah. So, and I would say like a ballpark amount, like I would give people an idea of what I make, but I know if I just don't want to get in trouble. But definitely say that people would be very not so happy with what I make, and they would probably outrage and
burn the house down.
Go on strike, Simon
_McNeeners. Did I nail it or wrong it?
I don't know.
Shit. I'm the worst last name person. Can you please describe eating clean? Please.
Listen, don't ask me that this week because I don't know what eating clean is right now. Like this morning, this is so gross. I am the snack queen. Like I'm gonna take a picture of my snacks and like send it to you in a minute. But like everyone's always like, man, I love going to your house because you have snacks. Even when I'm cutting weight, like I have them just in case like the kids want them or people come over or anything like that. But I had a honey bun that I love. An iced honey bun from the gas station is like disgusting. An iced honey bun from the gas station, like one of the little Debbie ones, iced honey bun. I bought one like probably right after I fought Hannah, so like 3 weeks ago. And I put this bad boy in the console of my truck. And then today I was like, man, I'm so hungry. And I opened my console and that honey bun was sitting there and I ate it. And it was so good. And it was like the only thing I ate all day. And then I drank like 3 energy drinks and then I went and trained. And I was like, this is not, I was like, why do I feel so tired? And I'm like, maybe because I'm fueling my body with like pure shit. But eating clean, like I don't do sugar. I don't do alcohol. I don't do any like bad carbs like bread or pasta or things like that. I just eat like good, like I have a meal prep service that delivers every single week and everything's like really clean, organic, everything. But yeah, I don't know about it this week.
I'm on my trip. I think I was gone for like 5 days. I think I had 7 milkshakes. No lie.
Oh my God. That
just
sounds
like,
so good. The ones that we had at the chocolate factory, that shit was so fire.
that shit was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. One of the greatest media outlet sources ever. Not
Fight
me
Bananas?
though, by the way. Fight Bananas official asked, I guess this is for both. Do you guys have New Year's Eve plans?
No. I don't do New Year's. Like, I'm just like, excuse me.
God bless you.
Woo! Woo! Thanks. I've never really celebrated.
You good?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Woo.
But I sneezed so hard I like disrupted the stream. I don't do New Year's. I just like, to be honest, I think the whole New Year's resolution's like super corny. Yeah. And I think like I don't like staying up late. I never stay up past midnight, so I'm just like, see you next year.
So this is a good one. This is what the podcast, when we started it, I said I wanted to do this kind of stuff. So I'm going to tell an intimate story that I've never told on any kind of podcast platinum platform before. Okay. So the New Year's Eve plans. For 35 years of my life, New Year's Eve is one of my like least favorite days. I dislike New Year's Eve. Couple reasons. One, like when I was in high school, and you always have like a high school sweetheart or a crush or someone you're with in high school. When I was with her in high school, she cheated on me on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
so no. It stuck with me, kept on sticking with me. That I'm like, that stinks. Like that's a horrible memory of that time of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then like, I'm kind of the same way. Like I like to like party or have fun or do extra activities and stuff. Like I don't mind that, but it's weird. Like I like to do it with my circle or with my people. Like I'm not good at, like, I don't go to a club. Like I'm just not that guy. Like I don't go to a like Vegas or Miami to a huge club and dance. It's just not my thing. I'd rather like a house party and be with my 10 crew and chill and party, if you want to say, you know what I mean?
I'm the same way.
So like New Year's Eve, everyone wants to go out and do that. I'm like, I was just never a fan of that. So it's like, I just not a New Year's Eve people. But now, I think I've said this probably 10 times on the show. The girls, our twin girls, are born on New Year's Eve. And it was just like, it was so magical too. And like having a baby and then having twins and having twin girls, like it just like it's just so magical.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Me and Susie were talking about it earlier today. Like everything was to get to Christmas. There's so many parties and trips and travel and make sure Christmas morning is so special for all the kids. Like it's just to get to Christmas. But now Christmas to New Year's Eve is quick. That's quick.
Yeah.
Now it's like we gotta like get our girl's birthday all situated. So yes, we definitely have New Year's Eve plans. We're planning the birthday party. We're making it happen. So there you go. J_ROO9X, putting him on blast right now. Would you ever go on a date with your fans?
No. It's so funny because like people think I'm so nice and I'm not. Like absolutely not.
Man, sorry, Jay. Sorry.
I don't even hang out with I like literally people don't grasp the concept that like you would think I'm the most like outgoing, like social. Like I literally, if I'm doing anything in my free time, is like locking myself in my apartment and just like staying away from human beings as much as possible.
And I know like it was fight day and weigh-in and all that stuff. I know all that's like stressful, but like we were, down there in Tampa for 40 hours straight, and it was like chilling in your hotel room, watching cartoons. And then then it was like when you're at Hard Rock after stuff is over, then it's like you do stuff, but like beforehand, like it was very work or it was like boom, like we're in a tunnel. Like it was like it's not as glamorous as people think. It's so funny. This
unless you're in if you're in my close circle, then like we have a good time and we like definitely have like a wild fun time. But like in my everyday life, like I don't think people realize like how closed off to society that I like really am.
No, I'm kind of with you. Like it's kind of the same. Like my 7 best friends, they know that we talk all the time, but like it's hard. You can't make everyone happy. It's hard to have 25 friends. It just is, especially our age and kids. All right. JJ4822. Now that Christmas is over, what is the best Christmas present you have ever received?
I have to like think about that.
Okay, so I saw these questions, so I'm gonna cheat. Like I kind of had this in my head already. So I'm gonna cheat on this one. I got 3 presents I want to like say. One is kind of Christmas, and 2 is kind of different. So here we go.
You got
the best Christmas present I feel like I ever received in a weird way. It's so funny. I just brought this up too. Was Susie's mom bought me a coat. And then there's a backstory of it. So Susie had a North Face jacket, this black North Face jacket. It was amazing. It's like the best jacket ever. Super comfy. It's like it's a Cadillac for your body. The best. So that's all I wanted. Like one year, I'm like, I don't want anything else. I just want this one jacket. I know it's probably a little expensive, but if you get me 6 $30 gifts, but if you just get me just this $200 jacket, it's the same amount of money. This is all I want,
Yeah.
So Susie's mom, who anyone who knows me deep in like, she's my favorite human in the world. Like I love Susie's mom. She's the absolute best. So I got the North Face jacket, which I thought it was the best thing ever. But then she also got me a second jacket. And anyone who saw any of the pictures that I posted in North Carolina saw me. I was wearing this same blue, kind of puffy Eddie Bauer jacket. And when I opened it, like I looked at it, I'm like, it was a little puffy. And like, I was like, I just wanted the North Face. That's all I wanted. Like, I like, you didn't have to get me 2. And she's like, no, it's a really nice jacket, super comfy. Just trust me. I'm like, okay, I'm happy with the North Face. A day later, a month later, 6 months later, it's been like 2 or 3 years now, maybe even more, 3-4 years. That blue Eddie Bauer jacket is like my favorite jacket. It's just like, I don't know how to explain it. You have a favorite pajama pants or shirt. Everyone does. Like I know it sounds weird. Everyone does. Everyone has favorite underwear. Come on, let's just be real. This blue jacket is my favorite. I love it. I just can't, like every time I wear it, good things happen. It's like my good, funny, lucky jacket. I love it. So that's the Christmas present. My other 2 real quick. When I was a kid, for Christmas or birthday, I got like a pack of baseball cards, like 1989 baseball cards. And I loved it. It was my favorite present when I was a kid. 30 years later, I told Susie that story. She's the best wife ever. It was probably a year or 2 ago. I think it was Father's Day. She bought me a 1989 baseball package of the same cards. I don't know where she found it. Like I'm super into that stuff. I can go on eBay or Amazon. That doesn't exist. I don't know where she got it. It was the best present ever. I'm like, this was amazing. And how she connected it was the best.
She's a superhero.
She's a superhero. And third, I will have it behind me very soon, probably there soon. It was like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Felicia Spencer, out of nowhere, met her in Orlando. We do our kind of weekly segment. And she gave me her gloves for the UFC fight that she fought Chris Cyborg. And like, it was the biggest fight, one of the greatest fights ever. And like, she I was like taken back from it. Then 6 months later, she wins again. And she like retires from UFC. And like, people always hit me up. They're like, do you still have these gloves? I'm like, yeah, they're in my room right now. Like, I can't wait. Like, we're going to get a plaque for it or whatever. And like, she just like, I was still, I feel like underwhelmed. I'm like, I can't believe she gave me these gloves. Like it was that.
That's so
It's
cool.
awesome. Yeah. So those
I
are my
will tell you, it's hard for me to pick one, but like I do remember this one as a kid. Like when I was a kid, I was raised by a single dad, so we were super poor. I remember we lived in like a single wide, it had like a 2-bedroom trailer, and my dad slept on the couch because my brother had a room and I had a room, and he slept on the couch. But I remember like one year waking up for Christmas, and I wake up for Christmas, I'm pumped, I walk out and there's no presents. And I'm like, whoa, like, why didn't Santa come? Like, was I bad or what? And I remember my dad, like, giving me this whole spiel of, like, well, maybe he just forgot. Maybe he just forgot. Like, Santa, maybe he just skipped the house and something like that. But, like, we were broke. So, like, of course, as a kid, you don't think about things like that as a kid. But, like, 2 days later, he's like, oh, my God, like, look, he remembered to come. And I, like, woke up and Santa came just, like, a couple days later. And I remember I got the VHS tape of Lilo and Stitch. And I was, like, so pumped. When I was a kid, I loved watching movies. And, like, Lilo and Stitch was, like, one of my favorite. I remember, like, seeing that movie. I'm like, I can't wait for that movie. Like, I want to see it. And, like, it was under the tree and like VHS tape, and that was like the best present ever. As an adult, I don't know. I don't know. My parents, actually, it's funny. My stepmom got me candles for Christmas because I was on here on the podcast like right before Christmas, and you're like, what kind of gift would you want for Christmas? And I'm like, I like makeup, I like candles, I like this, but I love candles. So my stepmom this year went and got me like a bunch of candles because I said it on the podcast. She's like, oh, I watched the podcast. And she's like, and I saw that you like candles. So yeah, so it was funny because she like wrote notes down of like what I wanted. So that was really sweet.
It's like, so it is funny. Like sometimes I feel like we don't, like, oh, all these people, do they watch or listen and stuff? Because we're on audio, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts and stuff. But like, I get messages all the time, like daily, hourly sometimes, because like I'm doing so many different shows and with different people, and like they're like, I just get like these messages like, oh, you really think they're going to win? Or, oh, dude, that was cool that you said that. Or, dude, I love that take you had. That was really nice. Or, I love what you're doing with Taylor. I get them all the time. It's like so funny. Like, it's like, wow, we are like sometimes getting to more people than we think.
I know. And people like, when I heard on the podcast, I'm like, you listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
What? Oh, like, I feel such a kid. So yeah, it's so cool. Thank you everybody for listening. We love you.
It's the best. All right, one more. This guy's the best. I'm starting to be a huge fan of him. So yeah, one of these are actually for you. I was going to ask you in the swarm, so I'll just ask one. This is one from DJ Hooligan. He's the one that does. He's in the swarm intro. He's an awesome guy. Very cool. He goes, what was the best for both of us? What's the best Christmas gift you ever gave? I didn't read this one before, so this is kind of hitting me a little bit.
Yeah, me too. Of course, whatever I give my kids, like that's like magical for me. I gave my I give gifts constantly, so it's hard for me to remember because I'm and I don't mean that in a cocky way, but I love buying things for people. And I love like sharing like that experience. Like I can't hold in the gifts. I think I gave pretty much all of my Christmas presents away this year before it was even Christmas. I was like, you gotta open it. Here it is.
Right.
I'm gonna open it for you. Just like look at it. You gotta have it. But I got my parents this was like the first like really expensive gift I bought anybody, I would say, is like I bought my parents a Keurig that is for alcohol.
Oh, that sounds good.
I never seen like a Keurig, but it's got liquor and it makes mixed drinks and it even like carbonates your drinks. It's like this fancy bougie Keurig for liquor, and like I was really excited to give them that. So I feel like that was, I wouldn't say it's the best gift I ever gave, but I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants on that answer.
Yeah, I really don't like, one's not jumping at me. You know, definitely we've had some good ones to Susie over the last 5, 6, 7 years. I think we did. I'm not too sure if this was the right. No, that wasn't the right time. I know we did Disney, like we did Disney passes one year, but I don't think it was a Christmas gift. Of course, Colin's 9 years old. We've done some really great gifts to Colin over the 9 years. Yeah, like one's really not jumping at me. I don't know. Like
that's how I feel. I'm like, because me, I wanted to be like a meaningful answer.
Yeah,
and like
I'm telling, like
none of them are like.
Yeah, we got him
meaningful.
Captain Falcon this year, and
that's what I would say for you,
like,
the Captain Falcon.
He's in heaven. Like he is in heaven. He loves this figure. He keeps playing with it. It's awesome. He loves it. Yeah.
The alcoholic Keurig. My parents were like, do you think that like we drink liquor this much? But it was funny because I heard an ad for this Keurig on a podcast I was watching. And I was like, wow, that sounds so fucking cool. And I was like, I don't drink. Like I drink like maybe I could count on my hands like how many times a year I drink. So I'm like, I don't drink like that, but I want it. And I'm like, who drinks? And I'm like, my parents. So I'm like, that is a perfect Christmas present. I bought this thing months ago, like holding it, just like ready to give it to him because I'm like, they're gonna think that this gift is perfect.
That's the best.
So I was very excited to give him that.
We've been going over an hour. We went with the drama with the 125-pound division. You on the Bare Knuckle FC podcast show talked a lot about holidays. We answered a ton of questions from our fans, but it's that time that we're gonna do the Swarm on Taylor Starlin.
All right.
Get ready. Here comes The Swarm with Dave Van Auken and Taylor Starling.
That's awesome. I love it. I love that. Okay, we're going to do that more often. All right. 5 questions. First answer comes to your head. You ready? This is a holiday Christmas edition.
I'm ready.
What is your favorite holiday food or meal or snack?
Anything sweet. Anything sweet. I'm always like, I want to go to someone's house that's got pies and cookies and cakes. And I always associate the holidays with like eating sweets. So yeah. What about you? Nothing.
There's like 3 things nothing like holiday brand wise, no. Yeah. I'm actually not like I love like buffalo chicken dip. That's like one of my favorite things. Like, but that's we do that on a Saturday, so yeah. Okay. This year it changed like a peppermint stick milkshake, like some kind of peppermint blast milkshake. It's been a good item. Favorite Christmas character?
The Grinch.
The Grinch. 100% right answer.
100% the Grinch.
Your favorite Christmas song?
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. It is like not Christmas if I have not blasted and sang that song at the top of my lungs. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Bet. Favorite Christmas movie?
The Grinch. I don't really I've never seen people are going to come for me on this. I've never seen A Christmas Story. I've never seen any of the Santa Claus movies.
Kind of.
I've seen The Grinch to me is just so good. And
the Jim Carrey one, right?
Yes, the Jim Carrey
one. The new cartoon is awesome. It's good. But the Jim Carrey is where it's at.
Number 1. But the boys love the animated one that came out. And
it's good.
They love that. So for me, I can watch that. That one, I didn't watch it and go that sucked. I was like, oh, that's pretty cute too. It's good. But Jim Carrey nailed that movie. And it was such a huge movie for me when I was growing up and stuff. So The Grinch, 100%.
The best. Last one of the Swarm Christmas Holiday Edition. What's your favorite Christmas clothes or something you wear more often because it's the holiday season?
I dress why are you laughing? I dress like a homeless person 24/7. In the winter just accentuates my homelessness. I wear big baggy sweaters and sweatpants and Uggs, and I don't care about what I look like at all during the winter. So I try to be cute occasionally, when I do the podcast, but for the most part, just anything sweatpants. I love sweatpants and hoodies. And I'm Adam Sandler in the streets.
Dude, you're the female edition of Adam Sandler.
Yeah, and I take that as a compliment. That's like my
That's a
spirit
great
animal.
compliment. It's Adam Sandler. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, and I didn't even plan this, but like I did. It's the holiday. Like you guys aren't gonna believe like any kind of.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I have 10 pairs of Christmas pajama-y type. They're the most comfortable thing in the world. Like I love them, and like we get a different one every year now. We have multiple kids, so we do this matching picture thing all the time.
I love that.
So like I love pajama Christmas clothes. Like love.
And I got I did this year, like I thought I was gonna be the funniest person in the whole world. I never like order any like funny sweaters or anything, but this year I saw one and I had to get it. And I just because like I wanted to piss my dad off. And I got a sweater that said Santa's favorite hoe. And I like wear it to my dad's and I'm like thrilled all week before it comes. I'm like, yes, this is going to be the best. My dad's going to think like talk so much shit. I can't wait. I wear this sweater over there and my dad doesn't even notice it. And then finally I was like, Dad, read my sweater. And he like read it and he goes, well, if you're going to be a hoe, at least be Santa's favorite one. And it just like, that was it. And I didn't get the response that I thought I was going to get at all. Like my family's so over my bullshit all the time. They're like, I'll come over there and do something outlandish. And they just are like, are you done? Like,
gosh, that's the best. That's the best. I love it. We 1 year we're going to have to do like a, I know I want to do it. Well, we just got to plan like now with us getting more in the jive of doing, yeah, like we're gonna do more stuff. I can't wait. 2022 is gonna be so awesome. So next Tuesday, let's see. So the girl's birthday, New Year's Eve. Okay, yeah, we got plenty of time. Okay, so we'll definitely have an episode next week. Will be the first episode of 2022. So crazy to say that out loud. It's nuts. But yeah, we went over an hour and 7 minutes. Probably our longest episode yet. Maybe. Maybe I think next week we'll get a guest. I think next week we'll kind of just into it and get our first guest of the year.
I've been trying to work on a guest. Actually, our friend Chad Mendez, he just had a baby. I think we talked about that, but he wants to come on. We just have to do it at a time and a day that like he can, parent things like where we got to maneuver. Yeah,
well, maybe next week if like we have enough time and like enough up front, we can be like, yeah, Chad, we'll do it Wednesday at 3. Record it and then just drop it, Yeah,
that would be dope.
Time. Awesome. Taylor, Starlin, happy holidays.
Dave Van Auken.
2021, Bare Knuckle FC.
2022, let's go, baby. Rocket. Where's the rocket?
Rocket. Awesome. Well, our famous last words before I do this very cool, inexpensive trailer.
Okay, bye.